Welcome to Insecure Faith Meets Joy and Freedom with your host, Shanika G. I'm so glad you're here. Are you ready? Let's go. What's up, y'all? I hope that you've been enjoying these bonus episodes. Here's another one for you, and I hope and pray that it blesses you. Come on in the room, it's Tuesday. I know it's going down. The sound is, yay, thank you. All right, I need my special person to send a request because y'all know I'm still, doing, learning this thing called lives and stuff. So y'all tell me, hey, how y'all doing? It is Tuesday, February 13th. I'm so happy that you guys are locked in with your girl today. Oh, there she is. Okay. We about to see. Hey, girl. Hey, Katrina. I see you, Maya. Hey, Mama. I see you, girl. DC in the building. I saw her too. Winston.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, girl?
Girl, I'm at the library.
I mean, you do what you gotta do, okay? You do what you gotta do. That's just where we at. Okay.
Hey, is that Maya?
Yes,
Hey, D. Hey, like, look, I'm gonna put me a little Vaseline on my lips. Because I've been running on 100. What's the gospel song? Running on 100.
I don't know that one, sis. I don't know that one. Y'all know that one? Y'all know we'll make up a song. Tell us something.
Running on 100.
I don't know that one.
Oh, here. Thank you, God.
She here, y'all. She here. We're so excited. Y'all, we didn't pray. We did that last week too. Like we did that. Yeah. We did that too. Okay. Be clear. I know we look very familiar to a lot of people, but we are only 2/3 of a magnificent trio called DTM. Okay.
DTM.
Okay. Yeah. But our sis, she in the chat. Y'all go hear from her soon too. But we are here for part 2 of our conversation around overcoming fear and insecurity. And tonight's topic, as it relates to that, is just speaking to, are you being mindful? Are you being present? Are you in the moment? All the things. Yes, D, the nails. Y'all like my Valentine's nails? I tried to do tic-tac-toe with the hearts because love won. Y'all get that? But I don't know if y'all can see that. But anyway, wait, can you see that? Can you see my nails? Wait, you good?
Last night,
I
had the guided thing on, but you set your screen time.
Got you.
And it came up just then. Okay, we'll get there. Okay. I seen your nails or something. Let me see again.
It's supposed to be like a heart, like tic-tac-toe and love wins. That's what I was going for.
Oh, he did it. They
did
it.
Yeah.
Come on, nails.
But y'all, last week was incredible, right? And tonight we going in as well. So for those that missed last night, I'm doing Instagram and I'm doing Facebook, so my Facebook people can catch it too. Hopefully, I hope they're able to see it. But for those that missed last week, let's go back a little bit, but make sure that you go back and catch that replay. Let us know your biggest takeaways from that. But my girl last week, Katrina Littles, aka the Purpose Pusher, she came through and she had this beautiful conversation with me as it relates to opening your mouth and, being in a space where you're saying what the Lord has told you to say in this season, right? And so we want to continue that conversation around fear and insecurity and hitting on a different area of that, right? And so also within last week, we gave the biblical reference in the book of Esther. And one key takeaway there was how Mordecai basically helped her to see the importance of opening her mouth and understanding that sometimes using your voice isn't just about you, but it's about those that are connected to you directly and indirectly, right? And then we shared a few practical tips, some being challenging yourself, doing the hard thing, even when you are afraid. And one of the big ones was reframing your negative self-talk. That was huge. being able to reframe what you're thinking as it relates to those negative or intrusive thoughts, right? And so that's a small recap. Like I said, make sure you head back, catch it from last week, right? But tonight I'm amped once again, because tonight I got my girl, someone that is near and dear to me, one of my partners, y'all, one of my bestie boos, heavy hitters for the kingdom, and she's an absolute gem to have in your life. Like, if you got you a wit stove, then you know you got somebody that's going to support you, encourage you, and push you, right? And so tonight I'm honored to welcome the Whitney Story, essentially wit, gifted in so many areas. And there is still more that she has to do, y'all. It's still so much more. So, Whit, jump in, speak to the people, give them a little bit more about you.
Okay, so what's up, tribe? I am Whitney, essentially wit, mama blogger at essentially wit. I'm a wife, mom, daughter, friend, all those things. A podcaster as well, and I'm just out here standing on business, you know, like, I mean, like, I answered the call, you know, sis call, hey, I need you. Okay, you know, like, I mean, a lot of things was going through my head, but I'm like, okay, let's do it, you know, I'm just gonna flow. So, yeah.
Let's go! See, get you some friends that's just gonna do it, you know, among all the other things that they may have going on, or just, you know, how fear tries to come in and play with you like that and tell you that why you or whatever. Nah, we killing it. Like I said, we no longer there anymore. We're going for full speed ahead because we got the biggest backer in history, the source that got us like that, right? So in moving the conversation forward, you know, I love a good story. Story time is my thing. So I wanted to just jump in just with the story as it relates to tonight's topic. And for me, this one, I'm bringing y'all into the 2000s. Last year I had y'all in the 90s when I talked about opening my mouth and all that. This time we're in 2009. I'm setting the scene for you, okay? So it's my graduation year of undergrad, and it was, again, 2009. I had that spring semester to do, and then I was going to do the fall of 2009. I would be done. I'll be graduating, all that good stuff, and it was a wrap, right? Shout out to all the psychology majors out there, undergrad. That was me, yeah. And so, but something happened that that was very unexpected, and I would have never fathomed it. That was the year that I lost my dad in March of 2009, and it really shook me. And I'm not gonna cry. I kept telling myself, I tried to rehearse through it so I wouldn't cry and I could get all the tears out, but you know, like, it don't always work the way you want it to. But 2009, he passed. Yeah, and one thing about my dad, he was always like just so proud of me and my brother. And I don't think I mentioned last time, my brother and I are like 10 and a half years apart. But he was just like so proud of us, of his family, period. Like my mom and his daughter and his son, like we were his world. And so he was always just so proud of all the things that, you know, we accomplished, all that good stuff, right? And so in 2009, when he died, I was just like, I mean, what am I supposed to do now, you know? And I remember taking off like 2 weeks from courses because I didn't want to. I could not get past that moment. But again, God being the God that he is, he protected me. He gave me grace in that space where I didn't fall behind in my coursework. None of that happened. I was still, you know, on target for graduation and all of that, right? And so in the back of my mind, I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna get through this, I'm gonna be done. And that's just it. Like, I don't want to do the graduation. I don't want to walk. I don't want to do the festivities that come along with it. I wasn't there. I didn't want to do that. But as I continued on and we got closer to, you know, the end of the year, one thing that had happened was that I missed my the entry point of like submitting your paperwork so that you could do the ceremony and all that stuff, right? I missed it. And so I was like, oh, well, I missed it, whatever. But my mama, she wasn't letting that happen, y'all. She kept talking to me, and she was just encouraging me and just helped me to see, like, even through this pain that I was experiencing, like, there was still joy that was to be had. I could still, have those moments of remembering my dad, all that good stuff. And so she encouraged me to still try to like go through the process. And, I thought about it and I was like, you know what? That's right. Like I should still, because I knew that that was something that would make him proud, that he was waiting to, see. And although he was on this side of heaven to see it, like, I don't know, in the deepest of my heart, I just felt like he was still proud, and, that it was still a thing for him to be proud about. And also the ones that were still physically here and present with me. And so I took advantage of reaching out to the registrar's office and staying in contact with them. And thank God that I did, because with that, I wasn't getting those emails that, kept you along in the process to say, okay, we're ordering things here, your cap, your gown, all that. Like I had to stay on top of that. So it was an extra added thing that I had to do to make sure that it happened. So it wasn't easy at that moment, because I had already said I wasn't graduating. My year to graduate and walk was 2009 at December, but I was, I had passed the deadline for all that. But again, that grace and mercy stepped in, and I was still able to do that and walk. And so my aunts, my mom, my brother, my uncles, they were there to celebrate with me. That morning they had like the brunch and everything like that. So my husband, then boyfriend, him and my mom came to it with me, and, it was just a beautiful experience. And so now that I think back over that, I'm like, what if I would have missed it? Like that would have been a disservice to not just me, but so many that have been along on that journey with me. My mom seeing her baby girl walk across the stage and be in these, that moment, and friends that I had went with, my, significant other, aunts, uncles, like all of them, they had been invested in it too. They had seen the progress, the steps, the years into that. And so if I would have stayed stuck in, my grief there in that moment, like I would have missed something so beautiful and something that stuck with me. I ended up being like one of the little pictures where they see me in the newspaper. I'm holding like the fake glass of USC Aikens of our school song. So like moments like that I would have missed if I would not have been intentional and being mindful in that moment. So that is just something I wanted to share with everybody, just to let you guys know, like, don't run past those moments. And although you may be dealing with something that's really hard, or, has you like feeling stuck, don't allow what you're currently facing, that situation, to stop you from all the beautiful moments that you'll later look back on and wish you had have taken hold of. So that's just one of my stories. I got stories for days, y'all, but I'm gonna let my sis tap in and get them people what they came for, girl.
I think you said enough, but I'll share, I guess.
Please.
Oh, wow, this is so beautiful. I'm just reminded of like accepting the call, like getting the call from you, and immediately after the yes, right, then came warfare. Okay, so I'm actually like taking the call from you, and then I have to end up leaving work to go get my son, right? So I get to him, and he's in respiratory distress, basically, like in a state of going into respiratory distress. A little bit about my story. Jeremy and I birthed a miracle baby back in 2018. He's born differently able. He breathes differently from you and I, and all those things, right? So as soon as I accepted the call, then I go into my baby in respiratory distress. And then it wasn't just one day of this thing. It was like continual, consecutive days of going through like warfare, like worrying about his breathing, or is he gonna throw like a mucus plug to clog his airway, like every day. And like still sitting in the school, still trusting that the nurses and the teachers are gonna do what they gotta do, like just giving him a God. Like this thing like to wreck me last week, okay? But the beautiful thing about God is like I may have been all over the place, but he allowed space for Jeremiah's teachers, nurses, even my mom, to be a part of his life and to know what to do in the event of an emergency. Okay, so we talk about, we go over all of these steps and procedures. Okay, this is what you do here, this is what you do there, and this is it. But then it happens for real, and you like, this is happening. What I gotta do. So then you face with, okay, I gotta do it, right? And then, I'm like, God, this is too much. But he was like, no, it ain't. It ain't too much, because what he went through, he was the sacrifice, right? Yes. He had to go through that in order for his teacher to know how to change his trait, for his nurse to know what to do to change his trait, for my mama to know, like everybody, like, even though I was in a whole whirlwind, like he was over here setting other people free. So I had to sit in it because I wanted to be upset, because we don't want to be wrecked like that. We don't want to be wrecked. And he's like, girl, please, I got him. I told you that the day I had him. So I got him. So chill. Who? Well, chill well. Who? So I could have been stuck, right? That's your words. You say I could have been stuck and sitting, being mad and angry and all those things. But look at how many other people got free from this situation. So,
whoa,
yeah.
Look at how many other people got set free from you being obedient, from believing God, even among what you were facing and how you were feeling. Like, you still allowed God to be God, so that it can release you from all the pressure of having to figure it out and do it all by yourself. You were present. You were mindful of that. Yeah.
I mean, like, it's been thing after thing. Like, I guess this is what he wanted me to release, because hell, I've been trying to get in the way every step of me getting this message to y'all. I'm in a library because I couldn't get home to get on this live.
But we don't even know what will happen after you leave. You don't know who you're gonna run into that may need you, the Whitney story, even in this moment.
Yeah.
Keep ready. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for that? Y'all heard that, y'all? But yeah, I thank you so much that you are here among all that, is transpiring, is happening. Life is lifing literally for you. But for you to, just to take the time to be here, to share with the people, to encourage them too, like, it is definitely appreciated. You are seen. God sees you like all the things. Okay. So in that, man, like, I'm ready. I'm trying to move past that, but man,
Dee said, who is screen recording this? I know, right?
You got it. Screen record.
I don't want to touch my phone because y'all know I ain't the one. So
the whole line will be gone. I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit right here. I'm just gonna sit right here.
All right, y'all. Okay, so in speaking to, like, acknowledging your accomplishments and being, present and mindful, one thing that I found in 1 Samuel 14, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 24 through 29 or like 30. But one thing that was really cool, and I got to go back and still read some more. Some of these books be thick with a lot of information. I got to really go back through and break that thing down. Be heavy. So you got to break it down. But one thing, as I was just like looking at things as it relates to, like, just celebrating moments and accomplishments and things like that, one part stuck out to me, that Jonathan, who was Saul's son, said to the other soldiers, like, he had went ahead of all the rest of them. They were in the middle of fighting, like, the Philistines, right? And so he and this other young man that was with him, that was kind of like carrying his armor, those two went, and they actually kind of like went towards the Philistines, and they had this whole conversation about if they tell us to come fight, then we come fight. If they come toward us, then, you know, we do nothing or something, you know, within that area. And so they decided, so the Philistines were like, come, you know, come towards us or whatever. They went in and y'all, they beat them. Like those two men took out at least 20 of those Philistine men, right? And is it Philistine or Philistine? I don't know. Biblical scholars, Davina, break it down in the comments because I'm gonna keep it moving. Okay, so so they went and they fought and then they went back to their area, and so they the other soldiers had basically made this pact with Saul to say basically like none of us are gonna eat until the night when we've defeated our enemies or whatever. And so Jonathan didn't get that memo. So him and the young man, they stuck their stick into like the honey, they tasted it, and they got strength from that, right? And so they were like, and so then the soldiers, I hate when people do that. Like you already know information. And so yeah, you don't want to tell me, you got me out here looking crazy. Then you want to come back and tell me, oh, now you in trouble. Why you ain't been telling me that before I stuck my stick in this honey? But anyway, I digress. They told him after the fact and was like, oh no, we had made this pact with Saul that we wasn't going to eat anything until, you know, we defeated them at the end of the night. And Jonathan was like, well, look, like, do you understand if you would have been mindful and present in this moment and not waiting to do this thing, how many more people we could have taken out? So it just hit me like, oh, do you understand the fact that when you go ahead and make sure that you're acknowledging and embracing the accomplishments or those moments, or you're being intentional in those moments, like how much more impact you're making, how much more people are able to bear witness to what you got going on, how much so that you're able to see the accomplishments as you're getting to that end goal. So I'm gonna go back and finish reading that, but I advise y'all to jump in there too and check some of that out too. It was so good.
Can you share it again?
Yes.
Share the scripture verse again.
Yeah, absolutely. It was 1 Samuel 14, and I think I started at verse 1, but that little meat section that I was talking about, just about acknowledging and, you know, how much stronger you could have been if you would have, you know, done what you needed to do then to take out even more, was 24 through 30. But again, I started from verse 1 and read that whole book. But baby, that thing was good. Yeah. Yes, Katrina, how much impact will you be able to make? That's so good. That's so good. What you got? You got something?
Well, I'll just share a scripture that has that has been with me or carrying me through the season of seeing Jeremiah's draw grow, or, you know, overcoming his trait situation. So I'll go to Hebrews 10:23.
Yes, Lord.
Let us hold fast to the confessions of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful. So during, you know, the tough season, or, you know, like a challenging season or a challenging times or whatever, I'll just go back and meditate on that the God who promises is faithful, right? Like, and he's gonna do it whenever he's ready, whatever he want to do, even if he doesn't, right? Like, he's still faithful.
It's still faithful.
Yeah,
he is.
And that's my song.
Still.
That's my song.
What's the song? Tell the people.
No, that's it. That's it.
Oh, that's
it. That's
my
song.
Single drop in the night. Y'all stay tuned.
No. Please don't do that. So silly.
Oh my gosh. So
silly.
Good. So good. And I am so grateful to walk out that part of just knowing that story and just believing God with you and my brother Jay in like the jaw growing, and God just showing up and doing what God does so well. And like you said, even if it doesn't happen on our time or what we think it's supposed to look like, just understanding like God is faithful. Like it's just a mess. Like I don't think I have the adequate words when I just think about the goodness of God and how he keeps us day to day, even when we don't even know he's keeping us. Like moments can be happening around us, chaos can be all around us, and we are like so protected by him that it misses us every time.
Ooh.
Like,
wow.
Okay. Anyway, I'm trying to stay within time tonight because your girl be talking. Y'all know this. I told y'all this last week. Your girl be talking. Told y'all this last week. Okay, but in going through that I think it's also important to like recognize and understand the importance of the smaller, or what we call like the small victories or whatever. And I think that in every moment, a part of our journey, like understanding like it's not irrelevant, and it all works together to get you to the end goal, right? And I'm trying to go back and forth. But the key here is that we gotta make time to recognize it. Like we gotta be in the moment as it happens and not let it pass us by, right? Because what we don't want to happen is to get to the end of the goal and then you still feel unfulfilled because you didn't recognize the moment as it was clearly transpiring before you. And so because when you think about that, like if you weren't mindful, if you weren't present from all the moments that made you uncomfortable, that even brought you joy, or the moments where you kind of went like back and forth with making certain decisions that shape the reality of the goal that you actually conquered. So I think that that's an important thing to understand there. And then as it relates to the importance of like recognizing small victories and what that actually does for us, one, I believe that it acknowledges like the process. It allows us to acknowledge and celebrate our progress, and through every journey toward, whether it being professional or personal, it's like it's comprised of different steps, of cumulative steps that you're able to say, oh, here I did this, oh, and then I did this, whoa, and then I did this, and then I got to this thing, right? And so by acknowledging these smaller achievements, you gain a sense of accomplishment, you boost your own morale, and you give yourself the motivation that you actually do need in doing so, right? And then another part of understanding the importance of acknowledging the smaller victories and the moments that you're walking through is trusting in divine timing. That's the Lord, y'all. That's the Lord. Trusting in the Lord. Like we are able to understand that each step forward, no matter how small we think that it may be, it's orchestrated by a higher plan, by God. Recognizing the smaller triumphs, it becomes an act of surrender, and it affirms our belief that God's timing is perfect, impeccable, all the things. Like it's him. He got it. And one of the verses for that was Ecclesiastes 3:1. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. Every matter, not just this moment, not just that, like for every matter, right? And one of the last things that I would definitely say is like the importance in that is building your faith and your confidence. Every step forward, it becomes a testament to the unwavering faith in God's promises that if he said it, you best believe he gonna do it. He gonna show out too. He gonna show out for his children. You know how we go above and beyond for our own kids, and we want to make sure they're good. They got all they need. Want to give them a little floss, a little drip. I think that's what they say, a little drip. You know how they say it. That's what God is gonna do for us. And so, as we wait on his promises to be fulfilled, that's what's happening. Recognizing these victories, they strengthen us in believing God, affirming our identity as his heirs to his promises. And again, it instills in us the confidence in the path that he has actually laid out for us. So we have to also remember, like, we don't have to do it in our own strength because he's already going to work it out for us. So that's what I got, the importance. So what you got? Come through. Oh, you got it. You got it. I'm ready. Yeah, when she do that little thing, like just know the Lord be downloading the girl. Okay.
I just say you mentioned, you said something along the lines of like staying stuck. Like, so don't miss the moments in the idea that you may feel like you're stuck, because that's when God, speaks the loudest, in those seasons when you feel like you stuck, right? So step outside for a minute, like come outside of that stuckness for a minute and just sit with the Father and just be like, okay, like this gotta be you, because this is hard, right? And we remind ourselves that yes, we can do hard things, and that we ain't gonna stay stuck in these moments. So just be reminded, like in those stuck moments, like that's when he speaks the loudest. So don't overlook those seasons, those moments and times in your life. Like he's real loud in those seasons.
He's real loud. heavy on the, he's real loud. And even his whisper is real loud. Okay? Yeah. That's so good. This is so good. Even in those stuck moments, like that's really, that was good. That was good. Okay. I'm going.
This was good.
I'm still processing that one. I gotta hold on to that one. I gotta catch this replay. Okay, man. Okay. Well, we almost done, y'all. We about to let y'all go in a minute. But before we do, we want to give y'all some practical tips in being able to do that. Because y'all know I'm a therapist by trade, so I gotta give you these tips and how to move in group. Like I gotta give it to you, right? So I would definitely say like one of these things is don't. Whitney kind of hit it on it when she mentioned like in the stuck moments, like that's when you hear God the loudest, or that's when he's working and he's being loud so that his voice is amplified over all the distractions. And so in that, don't allow the distractions or the trip ups or the mess ups like stop you or mess you up. Like if you feel like you tripped up, if you feel like distractions are happening, I implore you to reevaluate your steps. Head back to God for clarity, or to head back to him to just praise your way through where you feel like there's the distraction, where you feel like you messed up, where you feel like you stuck. Let these moments be a definitive reflection for you, right? That you've had other moments like this in the past. And look at you. You're still going. You made it through. So use the moments that you previously had, walk through this thing, and then celebrate and rejoice right where you are in this moment. Because as the saying goes, and this too shall pass, right? Isn't that the thing? Like understanding that, right? Another tip that I think is very practical, and I say this all the time with my clients, and some of them like, man, girl, I don't like journaling, whatever. But think about it. Pro tip on journaling. Like, I can understand if pen to paper is not your thing. It's not for a lot of people, right? And that's okay. But if that is the case for you, then find what works for you. Find the flow for you. So for instance, what I tell some people, if you know you're more of a talker and you like to talk things out, okay, blog about it. Do you a quick video or do even like those voice notes. This for my iPhone people, not for like, you know, I ain't gonna put my brother out there like that. But don't do that. Keep going. Come on. Make this voice note and say the thing, like journal about your day, journal, reflect about it, be in tune with what you're experiencing, being mindful in that moment. If the voice notes are not for you, a lot of people, what are you? Constantly in your phone, right? You are constantly on the laptop or your computer, your MacBook, whatever it is. Find you a note section on that and journal that too. Like if you feel like the pen and paper is not your thing, find ways around it, but don't neglect that part of journaling, because what journaling allows, it allows time for reflection, and it brings and helps to cultivate that space for you to show and bring forth the gratitude. So as I said before, when these moments come up where you're like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. Like, what did I do last time? Then, you may have soon forgot, but you can remind yourself by going back to what you previously wrote. It was written. That's good. It didn't change. Go back to it, right? And so moving on to my third tip for that, or as it relates to, you know, being mindful and present and celebrating those moments, is being mindful of the very moment that you're currently in. And so with this, I mean that in so many times, all we can see is the end result, right? Or we can see the big goal that we've set, or the dream that we're trying to get to, or the promise from God. But what we also forget to do is we miss the beautiful moments and the processes, some which includes the reconfiguration of ourselves. And what I mean by this is like, others may have noticed your growth. They have noticed how much, you know, you've changed, and not in a negative way, but in the most beautiful way. But guess what? You missed it happening, right? Because all you're focused on are in those pivotal moments were the things that you were thinking about to get to the next goal. Like, oh my God, how am I going to get through to this? Who am I going to call? Who do I need to reach? How do I, you know, make sure that my child's college education is together? Or I got to do this, I got to do that. But you're missing the moments as it's happening. You're missing those moments that you could have shared with your support system to continue to give you the boost that you needed in those small wins. So I implore you not to rush past where you currently are. Instead, be present, be mindful in those moments as the beauty of the dream is actually unfolding for you, right? And it's not too late, y'all, because like I said in the beginning, God is full of grace and mercy. So start becoming intentional and mindful in this very moment. Like while y'all on this live, like right now, become intentional. And the last one that I would definitely say is inviting others into the moment with you. And be very clear when I say others, I mean trusted family, trusted friends, not toxic friends, not toxic family members that will try to one up you as you're sharing your goodness from the Lord, and as you're sharing the things that you're believing God to continue to do for you, and as you've seen his fingerprints on your steps that you've taken. Like, make sure that you are intentional with the people that you're sharing this information with, because everybody just can't understand. They can't fathom it. They're not supposed to go with you. They will not be able to go with you as you continue to get to these next things that God has called you into, and that's okay. But as you do this, like I said, be intentional and invite those others in so that you are basically being able to be that person that they can bear witness to. Like, you never understand what your journey is doing for someone else. You don't know the impact that you're making on them. You don't know how you're inspiring them, and not just inspiring them, but also helping them to get to a different place and be transformed in their lives too. Right? So that's all I got for my practical tips. With Stowe, you already know. Talk to the people.
Ooh, you said it. You hit on it. The big ticket for me was.
I think you went out a little bit. Can y'all hear her? Not yet. Nope.
I'm so
Come
sorry.
back.
I'm sorry,
You good?
y'all. Can y'all
You
see me?
good? Yep, we see you and you hear you.
Okay. So for me, the big ticket was like journaling and writing things down.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Yeah. She's talking about the journaling and writing things down.
See, my husband keep calling me. I'm on live right now, Jay. Okay. Practical tips. What stood out was journaling, like getting stuff out of your head, whether that's doing, writing it on pen and paper, typing it in your notes app, doing a voice note, just making sure you're getting it out of your head. But the second biggest ticket for me was being able to share that moment with community. There is like to have like a trusted community is like almost like gold, y'all. So be prayerful about what that community looks like.
Yeah.
And if you need that safe space community, start to be that so that you can have it, right? So be what you need, like if you need this safe space, or if you want to be friends or be a part of a couples group, and a safe, healthy couples group, like model that yourself, so yeah, that's all I got. Let me just shut up before this call come through again.
Be what you need. Yes, D. Be what you need. That was so good. So good, sis. So good. Well, y'all, I told y'all, like, I want to honor y'all time. I don't want to keep y'all on here. I can keep going, but there's so much more that we can share. And I just want to thank everyone, like, for your time, for you being here, for you showing up, for you, commenting in the chat, showing us, what we're saying, that it's sticking, that it's taking, and we appreciate you guys. We would love to hear from you in the comments, letting us know your, like, biggest takeaway. Whitney, like, I say it all the time. I'm grateful to have you in my life. I am grateful for who you are, not just how you impart in my life, but just you are the gift. You are the gift, sis. You are amazing. I love you, and I'm so thankful to have you on here as we dive into part 2 of overcoming fear and rejection, and continuing the conversation, and it around, like, we know that overcoming fear and rejection for some, like, it's a continual journey. And I think, like, the conversations around that, because we know it goes much deeper than just saying, oh, I overcame fear and rejection, but how are you doing it? What are the things what does that look like? And so being able to have this conversation, I think, was super helpful. I don't know. I mean, I might be biased. So y'all, let me know in the chat. Let me know what it looks like for y'all. Anything stuck for y'all? Did you enjoy the conversation? I don't know, but I know I did. I am more fruitful because of what you've given us on tonight as well. I thank you so much for your time. And as we wrap up, just a quick recap. We talked about being present and mindful as you go through life, Don't miss the moments that you may claim are small, may look small. Like, be all in for whatever that is as you get to the goal, as you get to the dream, and make sure that you be what you need as it relates to practical tips, but also making sure that you invite others in to celebrate with you. Understanding God's timing is a perfected time, okay? His timing is perfect. He is perfect in all of his ways. So understanding like your posture in the journey will bear witness to others. Yes. And remember to show like that you believe God, that you trust God, and you will constantly see and be able to see how God is in the journey with you. And so will other people that are in your circle that may not be directly attached to you, but, you know, kind of outside looking in, and it may give them that push that they need, right? And so just remember to celebrate the small things as they come, so that when the big thing come, like, it will mean something to you. It won't just be like, oh yeah, I made it, next thing. No, you did a hard thing. You did the hard thing. So remember that. We have one more live next week with another special guest. As we continue the conversation. I won't tell y'all know how I like to do. I like to wait and be like, oh, guess who we got next week? But just know, night 1 was amazing. Night 2 was incredible. Night 3, we're going up even more. So make sure, y'all, 7 o'clock next Tuesday. What is that? The 20th. Yeah, the 20th. So make sure you guys join us as we continue to go a little deeper in our next live next week. Again, thank you guys so much for hopping on. Wisto, you already know. Oh, y'all, I can rhyme. Y'all tell my husband because he don't think I can rhyme like that, but I did it. I love y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Insecure Faith Meets Joy and Freedom. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. As you know, your support helps us reach more people and spread the message of joy and freedom through faith. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates, encouragement, and to join our amazing community. And you can do that at Insecure Faith Meets Joy, the letter N, Freedom. And you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Check the show notes for all information. Until next time, read your Bible, mind your business, pray, and obey. Take care.